Hi guys, it's Mike here from KS Bushcraft Down Under. Today I'm going to rattle you out a review of the 111mm Victorinox Picnicker. So one of these Picnickers was the second Victorinox I ever bought. So the first one, unsurprisingly, was a Victorinox Climber. Now this is a great little knife. Weighs in at 84 grams. This has had 40 years of use and abuse. See, it's getting a bit of corrosion and that on the liner, so it's got no baggage hook and the old style of corkscrew. If you're an ultralight hiker, adventure traveller, really this is all the knife that you need. But in my climbing, hiking, mountaineering days, I needed a knife big enough to prepare real vegetables and cut, bread and cheese and all that. So I needed something bigger, and I saw one of these and I thought, that is just what I need. It's slim enough to go in your pocket, decent sized tools, and really it's just like a Spartan but with a locking blade. So it's got a lot going for it, okay? So a bit of back history on these. The early ones were basically constructed like the 91s. They had 2.5mm pivot pins and 2.2s on the tool, so they were a little fragile, but I never broke mine. But I never broke my Picnicker in 2 layers, but I did break a Hercules in, I think they're 4 layers. So we'll go through it. Now, for those that aren't familiar, Victorinoxes are made with a good stainless steel that's proprietary to them. It's hassle-free. Okay, some people bag it out and said, "Oh, it doesn't hold an edge, it doesn't do this, it doesn't do that." For most people, its edge retention is just fine. Okay, so the pins that secure it together are made of brass, and the liners are aluminium. So as long as you give it an occasional wash, doesn't matter if it gets into salt water, a little bit of care and a little bit of oil, you'll get a lifetime's use out of it. Okay, so this one is 16 mils thick. It would be 15 mils thick. If we look at the corkscrew here, it's actually proud of the edge. If you look at the older models, because the lock was on this side, on the outside, it's actually flush. Okay. So the older ones had a side lock. So if you see a Picnicker for sale with the side lock, upgrade to the liner lock. It's much stronger, although mine never failed. Okay. So the blade itself, I'd call it a saber grind. So it's tapered all the way down to the edge. The edge is about 22 degrees, so quite a fine edge, the sharpened edge here. It cuts like a dream. If you're cutting cheese or anything like that, it's an absolutely brilliant kitchen knife. So it's locking, as I said. Now this is a liner lock. It runs from the top down to the bottom. On the bottom edge it locks the flat bladed screwdriver. Unusual for most liner locks is it goes the opposite way. Now it's quite strong. This one's brand new. So the Picnicker isn't available with a one-handed blade. So it's a positive lock, you can be confident. Now the cap lifter, a big flat bladed screwdriver, and this little notch here, they call it a wire bending notch. This was also a big upgrade from the older models. The older models weren't locking, and the older ones were basically the same size tool that you got on the 91mm, so a much bigger tool for prying off Milo tin lids and stuff like that. Now, possibly the best can opener in any Swiss Army type pocket knife. Little flat bladed screwdriver on the top. Absolutely brilliant tin opener, it really is, guys. So on the back, we've got a 4-turn corkscrew. So different to the earlier ones. But I don't know how many, I don't think I've ever opened a wine bottle with mine. And an awl. Now the earlier awls had a sewing eye in there. Not that I've ever sewed in it with one, but I don't know why it was suddenly removed. Same size and everything. So these are available in red or black. Now the number on the box, this one is 0.8353. Nylon scales. It does have the usual toothpicks, which I find pretty useless, and the toothpick. None of them seem to be available with a pen, which is a bit of a shame because the pen's really useful. So blade said one-handed opening isn't available. They have straight, which I prefer, or wavy, and I don't know if it's fully serrated or like the Soldier, partially serrated. I'm not sure about that. Haven't got one to show you. And I'll turn that into the camera. And that basically shows you the 91mm blade, the 93 Alox, which is one of my favourites, the 111mm plain blade, and the Soldier blade with a one-handed opening. So this is a much better blade for camp tasks, it really is. This is an absolutely fabulous knife. If it had a tougher name, I'm sure they'd sell more. I said the Adventurer is available. It's the same, but with a Phillips similar to the Soldier's on the back rather than a corkscrew. So that might be a choice for you if you're messing around with stuff out in the field. But this is a great knife, guys. It really is. I mean, if it was available in one-handed opening, I reckon it would be a hot seller for Victorinox. It really would. If it had the blade from a Sentinel put into it, this would be a brilliant outdoorsy knife. As good as it is, I really like it. Anyway, guys, hope that was interesting for you. If this content helps you out, don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps me out greatly, and I'll see you next time.